Hello, lovely. Welcome back to another episode on our Kiteroa, the Long View podcast. Welcome to this series of getting to know each other, getting to know what Kiteroa is all about, what we are here to celebrate and share in this space. This is a place for reconnecting as women to our true selves, to our soul, to our spirit, that part of you that is connected to the universe and all around you through vibration, through invisible threads, resonance, and really just getting into talking about all the ways that we can rediscover, our inner creativity and love of life that exists within you, those sparks of the things that nudge at your soul and draw you in completely inexplicably and light you up from the inside out. So in this episode, I am going to be sharing a little bit on what it means to connect to universe, spirit and soul, and what it means to fill your own cup and put ourselves first, right? Because these are sometimes concepts or notions that we, as women particularly, have either forgotten over time or have never been told how to do this, right? We've never learned how to do this in our life. We certainly didn't get taught it at school. And we certainly, for many, many of us, were never shared this or never had this passed down to us through our families or anything like that. So, I guess first and foremost, it's a journey, and it's a journey to get clarity on yourself. Primarily, right? Your uniqueness, that part of connecting to universe, source, spirit, God, whatever, goddess, whatever name aligns for you. It really is that clarity within that allows you to connect to something greater than yourself, right? Connect to something greater than just our everyday mundaneness, what it means to be human, all these questions about, why are we here? What is our purpose? What are we here to do? Why are we on this little blue dot in the middle of the cosmos, right? And that connection and that ability to be able to trust in something that is our own, path, and to trust that it is all as it is meant to be, comes from having clarity on yourself first and foremost, right? We can have connection external, but really at the end of the day, it is connection within that is the often the missing piece, right? It's often the place that we forget to look, our own uniqueness. And the work that I do within my world and my realm, I share wisdom from modalities such as human design, astrology, and gene keys, which are very much to do with getting clarity on yourself. First and foremost, it is these are modalities that are based on our soul blueprint, who we came here to be, what we came here to do, our unique activations of, within our DNA, essentially, of the time and the place and the location in the cosmos when we came in, essentially. And these are things that I work with women all over the world on. And I help them and empower them to bring it through, particularly in their following their soul calling, particularly for women who are building and expanding their soul businesses. But I also, share this with many people who, are just simply on that path to soul purpose seeking or soul calling seeking, essentially. And, so much of that clarity that comes from understanding yourself and your inner being and getting clarity on your inner being is really what allows you to have that just clear connection to something much bigger and something, that is just the energy of the universe around us, right? That interconnectedness that we all are here, the vibrational aspect of how all the different molecules and atoms and, the tiniest parts of the cosmos vibrate in harmony with one another, and those different universal laws that we, possibly have an understanding of, but unless we have actively sat down and learned or, been taught, things about vibration and resonance and quantum mechanics and things, why is it that we, experience that when we are in our happiest, most aligned, highest vibration selves, that we suddenly attract all the things that we resonate with, right? That we desire, that we love, and understanding that, that inner reflection of what is going on within us is reflected in the universe around us, right? So these are all things that are, very heady concepts, and I'm certainly not going to get into explaining them all in this particular podcast episode. But I just want to give you a little taster of what is to come with our upcoming podcast episodes and what we will be getting into, and, bringing in some absolutely incredible speakers and interviewees who are going to share not only their story and their experiences, but also their absolute genius insight into these concepts. And, just to go back to circle back to, what we're talking about here in terms of that process of connecting to universe, to spirit, to soul, to source, to God, to goddess, whatever, word or name or label resonates for you, right? Because we all resonate with things differently, but at the end of the day, they are all that representation of love and harmonious living. And, it really comes down to that connection coming through with clarity on what recharges you, what do you love to do? All of these things that's we so often forget to even ask ourselves those questions, right? We get caught in the flow and the hustle and the bustle of life, and somebody suddenly asks us, what do we do? Well, what do you do? And our default setting, societal constructs and conditioning have told us that the immediate answer is to list off our job, right? Most of the time that is what people say. Oh, I'm an engineer. I'm a librarian. I'm a teacher, right? That's not what you love to do. It might be what you love to do, but that's just a label for the job that you do, right? As a teacher, what do you love to do? I love to see the spark in someone's eye when they finally understand something that I've been explaining in their language. That's the real love of what you love to do, right? Seeing and feeling and vibrating in that frequency of joy and compassion and excitement for knowledge, right? Like thirst for knowledge, right? But it gets labeled as being a teacher. And so often when we actually spend time, if we ever actually spend time getting clear on the things that light us up, recharge us, what fills our cup, what do we love to do? And then if we put that list alongside a comparison of the things that we actually do in each day, so often it's a yawning crevasse of, the discrepancy between what we love and what we actually do. So this is, a big part of our mission here with, Kiteroa, and what we are going to be offering moving forward is really getting into some of this and empowering you to just make the subtle shifts, right? Like this is not an overhaul of everything immediately that's going to lead to overwhelm, right? Because we are not here for overwhelm. We're not here for burnout. We are not here for hustle culture. We are here to celebrate you doing things in your own pace, in your own time, coming to different modalities and understandings and clarity at whatever path, on whatever path feels aligned for you, right? And it really is so often, just that clarity and understanding of just taking some time to even just spend 5 minutes thinking about, okay, if there is a really big yawning gap between what I love to do and what I actually do in every day, how can I do a little like self-check and inventory, like just to energetically do a bit of a checklist to go, okay, how many places am I giving myself to? How many people am I giving of myself to? How frequently is that happening? And how frequently am I giving time to myself or taking time to put myself first, taking time out? How many times am I saying no to requests or invitations or opportunities, right? Because not every single invitation and request and opportunity that comes our way is actually aligned for us. Yet, again, societal's conditioning, our upbringing, our family, our friendship groups, our circles, can often lead to that sense of duty over obligation, and that can lead to overwhelm. I knew overwhelm was coming in there somewhere, just got ahead of the obligation part. The shoulds in life. Don't know if you ever heard the saying that, quit shoulding all over yourself, right? Like these are things that we're going to continue to explore and going to continue to dive into. But I just wanted to share this little mini session with you, just to spark some thoughts, spark some ideas, maybe spark some very simple decisions or practices or changes in habits, routines, structures. As I say, it's not about overhauling your entire life and then feeling like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's identifying one or two little things. Take those mini lists or, visualizations that you've got in your mind about what it is that you do love to do and comparing it to what you actually do, and just identify one thing. What is one little tweak that can happen right now? What is one little action step that you could do tomorrow morning? Instead of rushing out the door last minute with your coffee in hand, actually, would you rather make your coffee and go sit outside in your garden for 5 minutes before you head out the door? The littlest of things can make such a difference to our overall well-being, our overall innermost clarity, our overall connection to, that vast cosmos of universe that is so much bigger than us, that allows our true spirit and soul to feel uplifted and all sorts of shiny and sparkly. So I hope this little mini episode has been powerful. I hope it has given you some mind food to ruminate on, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode.